Hi there. I think it's time for a small update. We're still, where's that? 12 days from the next PSA measurement. But nothing is static. You probably know that if you follow up my channel. So we how to put that? We need to keep developing. We need to keep progress. And just because I've had a very significant and interesting drop in my PSA the last time, based on whatever protocol I was doing up until that point, doesn't mean that I should not change it when I see something better. And as I mentioned in, I think it was my previous videos, I've started out with melatonin. But I have to say, this knocks me out more than the RSO does it. And does it mean the RSO is not working properly? Could be a question. But also might be, because I don't know how do you use this. What I mean about this is that I see people who use upwards of 600 to 1,000 milligrams a day, which is a lot. I've been around asking in town if I could buy melatonin here where I live, and there's one specific place that does have it, but they have it in 3 milligram tablets. Way too little. And I was asking if I could get them in like 10 or 50 milligram tablets, but they would say no, and nobody does it that high because that's dangerous and you can't do it. But yeah, I got these here, and obviously when you got 10 milligram, I could probably just open one of the capsules and take half of it and increase it from there, but I just knocked it off by 10 milligrams. So I've done 20 milligrams for 4 days, then I increased that to 20 milligrams just before I go to sleep for 3 days, and now I'm on my 3rd day where I take 10 milligrams in the morning and 20 milligrams before I go to bed, so I'm at 30 milligrams at this point. But I can tell you, my body is heavy like lead, and people might say, yeah, it is melatonin, so it should not be so much of a surprise, but I'm really tired. But I've also heard that people say that that is the result when you go low doses, but when you go higher doses, it has the opposite effect for many people. They get more energized about it. I don't know if it's just a matter of being adapted, but I do know that at 30 milligrams a day, I'm tired. Really tired. But also, like I started out saying, do not know how to increase this. So I don't know if the increments by which I'm increasing it and by speed at which I'm doing it is too fast and too much. I have no idea. I'll just keep on at it, because I know they say that about 20 to 40 milligram you start seeing results on cancer. And I don't want to be lingering around at numbers that are too low for it to have any effect. So without trying to damage things or make problems for myself, I'll increase it in the increments as I've done it here. My target is, and I can't remember how I scheduled it, to go all the way to 160 milligrams. 160 milligrams, that means 60 in the morning and 100 before bedtime, because I've already ordered from something called purebulk.com 100 milligram tablets and 60 milligram tablets, and then I have these here for, you could call it fine-tuning when that comes. So yeah, I've got high hopes for these here as well, especially when I found out that they also have a delaying effect on the castrate-resistant prostate cancer that you might encounter if you're doing ADT. The reason why it makes me so happy is because I understand fully that what I'm doing is good, but might not be enough, and I might be ending up in a situation where I do have to do ADT, hormone treatment. But starting the clock on the hormone treatment is something that I really will resist as long as I can. But having the fact that melatonin can delay the castrate-resistant time without even knowing if that, for my biology, my chemistry, whatever, my DNA is 10-15 years ahead, I can delay it no matter how much it is. And that means I can take charge a little bit of something that I do not like, and that is public treatment. Yeah, I'm still waiting for it to come. I've ordered it 3 days ago. So obviously it will take a while before it's here. I think it's shipped from the US. And another change in this period of measuring PSA is my wormwood, Artemisia annua. That's been changing a lot. The protocol that I'm following, or should have followed, said that I should have a doses of 500 milligrams in the morning, followed a couple of hours of fasting. Then I should have another dose on an empty stomach again, and then followed again by a couple of hours of fasting, and then I could start eating, meaning I could eat about 12 noon, and then if I do intermittent fasting, I would be done about 8 p.m. That just doesn't work for my biology. I just can't go until 12 o'clock without eating. But on the other hand, I have zero problems eating, say, 8 o'clock in the morning, and then have my last meal at 2 or 3 o'clock, which is even less. It only gives me 6 or 7 hours eating time, and then the rest of the day without eating. That's no problem for me, but in the morning, I need something. So I haven't been able to follow that protocol, so it's ended up being me just taking one dose of Artemisia annua when I get up in the morning, and then at my 10 o'clock, well, you could say my fasting period is done and I can't do Artemisia annua anymore. But now I just read up on it, and I see that a lot of people, what they do is they take 500 milligrams in the morning, and they take 500 milligrams on an empty stomach just before they go to sleep, which actually fits the bill very well with what I am doing. So I haven't done it yet because I've been knocked out of my socks with this melatonin, and I know that the Artemisia annua has a tendency to make you very tired as well while you're taking it, but that is 3 days on and 4 days off. Well, actually, come to think of it, it might also be the reason why I've been tired the last few days, because I am doing both, updosing my melatonin and the Artemisia annua. Today was my last day. So yes, a small minor change to my Artemisia protocol and an add-on to my existing ones. And this leads me actually to a little side comment that I wanted to make a few times. A lot of people, they talk about all these good things you can add on. There are also mushrooms you can do. And there's a lot of different chemicals I see around, or at least it looks like chemicals by the names of it. I don't know them. And I'd say a ballpark, there's probably 100 good protocols out there for cancer of all sorts. But just because that you have a protocol that seems anecdotally or by animal trial or maybe even by human trial to look good, doesn't mean you should do them all. I firmly believe that the body and the mind is important. So you should find the few protocols that is integrated harmlessly and fluently and seamlessly in your everyday life, so that you can do it without having the stress about whether you are missing out on a specific time on the day where you should be eating some supplements, or you are stressing that now you're hungry but can't eat because your stomach has to be empty, and so on and so forth. There's so much that can stress you in a day, because if stress is a factor to all the protocols you're doing, you are counteracting whatever good benefits you might have from these protocols. Because the first and foremost barrier for or defense for diseases is your mind and body. You have to make sure that that one is in balance, and then you should add on as you feel convenient, as you can afford it, as it fits in your program, whatever protocol you also believe in, and make those two combine in a nice way, and I think you'll get all the best results in the world. And I've got 4 protocols going on, plus a little bit of supplements that's added on and goes along with these protocols, so they are not interfering with my day. And I have to say, serapeptide is the only thing that I have a problem with, and it's because it also has to be taken without with an empty stomach, even worse. So not with something, but with an empty stomach, and it's impossible to take Artemisia twice in the morning on an empty stomach, and at the same time also have to take serapeptide on an empty stomach. And mind you, the Artemisia annua counts for something. It doesn't count for nothing, meaning that if I do take that along with it, with the serapeptide, then I'm no longer on an empty stomach. So I have to find 4 times during my morning, with at least an hour in between, where I get something for an empty stomach. And I still have to get all my other supplements from the morning, vitamin D, my melatonin, my curcumin, my saw palmetto. 'Palmetto. Those are the things that I need to get along on the morning too. So, That's why I also gave up on the B17, the apricot seeds, the Leotrail, because I just couldn't fit it in. I mean, I could fit it in if I was doing micromanaging, but it would mean I had to watch every step. Literally, I did, and I have to be aware of what time of the day it is, because it's like 4 times in the morning, and then you got dinner, and then you got 2 times in the afternoon, and you got lunch, and then you got afternoon. And it's like upwards of 10 times a day I have to have something shoveled in my mouth in relation to my protocols. Just too much. Anyway, I will head out for my daily dose of happiness. And no, Laura, it's not talking to you, although that is very, 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 very much indeed in the same league. It is my coffee, which I can have every day. Until next time, as always, stay healthy.